a strand of your hair, a skin flake, a speck of blood, and supposedly, theoretically, according to science, they can clone a whole you, right? Now, the only way in which that it can be was that means if that was a hologram. You get this? So that means that you're a hologram. So now that you realize that you're a hologram, then hell, what do a hologram need in order to survive? Bingo! You need light. So right there, I just finished reading to you that Jesus said when the eye is single, the whole body is be filled with light. That means he was telling you the science on how to draw in the cosmic golden ray energy and produce whatever you want into existence. In other words, he gave you the whole science of manifestation right in that one verse that I read. How do you bring down this energy? Well, consciously. That's how you bring it down. I'm going to get into the consciousness in a second. But check this out. We got Shu. We got Atum, Shu. Shu's sister was Tef Newt. Then you had Gab, Newt. You had Osar. You had Osset. And you had Set. And you had Nebhet. Now count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Signs of 8 represents infinity. Well, guess what? What he was talking about was the 8 dividing cells of mitosis. In other words, the 8 dividing cells in which that produce your physical body into existence. Okay, I don't know. Anybody know about the signs of mitosis? Okay, I'll break it down. All right. You have the 23 chromosomes, which is embedded within the sperm, right? Then you have the 23 chromosomes in which that is embedded inside of the woman's egg. Well, when the man ejaculates within the woman, the sperm in which that is the chosen one, the metaphysical process in which that happens is that sperm travels up the base of your spinal column through all 7 chakras, receiving instructions of consciousness from all those immaculate light systems. And as it comes up and it takes the consciousness of each of those seats or centers, or what is called neuromelanin centers or clusters, melanin clusters, it takes this energy and travels all the way up to the final destination, which is in the 3rd ventricle, and become baptized in the cerebral fluid of that illuminated cave, in which I was talking about earlier, by the pineal gland. It received the spark of life from the pineal gland, which is the God within you, because inside of the pineal gland is God, which is called your divine soul. Okay? That is the aspect of the soul within you in which that is the pure facial reflection of yourself. Matter of fact, you go to the Old Testament, it reads about when Jacob wrestled with the angel and he named the land Peniel, in other words, the pineal, because what? His life has been preserved and he has seen the face of God face to face. So if you want to see God face to face, that means that you must raise that energy up, called the Kundalini energy, to that pineal gland. But when the sperm goes there, become baptized in the cerebral fluid, it travels back down the spinal column, back to the testicles, in order to wait to be ejaculated. With the 777,777,707. Anyway, this is how many. 777,777.
Add all that together.
Yeah, that's it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 7 is what?
63. 6 plus 3 is 9.
3 was 9.
Right.
9 is.
Y'all know what 9 is, right? 9 is the highest. 9 is the highest number. You know what I'm saying? Right. After 9, you start another cycle. But 777,777. I get it right in a second. But anyway, this is how many cells. All right, or what we call germ cells. And out of these germ cells, this only takes one in which that what? Impregnates. So it's like this. This is the egg. As the sperm flows, and as it attaches, the head of the sperm blows up, the tail breaks off, and the head blows up to the exact same equivalent size of the nucleus of the egg, in which that begins the process of what is called mitosis, in which that at this point the two become a four. The four become the six, become the eight, in which that begins this whole cycle of what is called from atom, or atom, from Shu, Tef Nut, Gab Nut, or Saw Set, Nebhet, in which they're talking about that you are already a manifestation of all of these deities already. So whenever you call on any aspect of these deities, the only thing you call it on is the aspect of yourself. Because these same 8 cells are the same cells in which that never changes in your body. Out of all the 76 trillion cells in your body, these 8 cells never change. They still keep the exact program from the day that you was born to the time that you pass on. Now there's a science too on, this is what is called the Egg of Gab. Gab is supposedly have laid this egg. He was known as the goose that laid the golden egg. And Gab, other name, is called Nergul, in which that you can see obviously that the word nigger originated from that. So that means right there is that the divine science is that you are the nigger. And guess what? Within the ancient Kemetic kingdom, in ancient times, the king title actually was not Pharaoh, because Pharaoh is a name in which that came about in the 16th dynasty by the Hyksos, who was the invaders. The name for the Pharaoh, as we would call it then, was called Negu.
The word Pharaoh means White House.
Or House of Fire.
Where's the president? That's just a tip of
Negu. So Negu is the same word as Negu. Same word. Just take out the vowels. So Negu is the science of who you actually are. Within ancient texts, it also speaks about the so-called Negu being the Serpent People. The Serpent People, the Serpent race. And is known throughout the world in ancient times of who they were talking about was talking about us. The people who had the ability in order to control the Kundalini energy. The word Kundalini means serpentine fire. You had the ability at one time to control that power within you. For those that don't know, the Kundalini energy, even at the base of the spine, is 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is equivalent to the surface of the sun. That's why if you raise that energy up improperly, your ass can spontaneously human combust. Now, of course, it won't happen to black folks, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we got too many damn reports of that happening to white folks over the last 100 years. It's been documented. Matter of fact, there's a book called The Spontaneous Human Combustion in which that you can get, in which that document, and it was all white folks that blew the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Blade style. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna, that's what happened. But this is the reason why, you know what I'm saying, they don't want you using the word nigger, because that taps you back into that sound in which that originated your whole physical existence into being. So they want to take away that divine origin of the word nigger and just give you a substitute. Oh, you African. Which nothing wrong with that if you understood the divine science behind the term African. You know what I'm saying? It's not African, it's actually Afrakam. Afrakam. Af means body. You know what I'm saying? Ra means sun. Cam means black. You got a black body in which that is filled with the energy of the sun. So yeah, you are African, but you ain't no damn African.